the news that we keep putting off every single week, right? And I'm determined to nip this in the bud because it's something that I'm quite infused in, is that Roman Reigns finally turned heel in the
Woo!
WWE.
Ah!
And
Ooh!
now I should explain a bit of context, right? Back in the day, I was a few years ago, I got back into wrestling again thanks to OSW and Attitude Era podcast. Shout out to those guys. And Roman Reigns was a perpetual babyface, which basically means he was always the good guy, no matter how the audience reaction to him was. And it turned me off the product in the end, in a way, because they just marketed this guy as the new John Cena and refused to give him anyone else other than him a push as a babyface. And finally, he's aligned himself with Paul Heyman and become a Paul Heyman guy, a la CM Punk.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like all the pushes that these guys get, when you can tell it's a forced push, that's what makes it worse. Like in Roman Reigns' case, you already saw previously that he'd botched many of his segments, and
on the mic, he was a horrific at times. He wasn't a bad athlete at all, but
there should be
he
like
really needed a mediator like Paul Heyman. I was saying it back in the day as well. Put him with Paul Heyman and have him be the mouthpiece.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say he's improved. Like, and he does have stellar quality matches from time to time. Like, against like whether it's Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles, I've seen some really good matches that he's put on. I just think when it comes to being that mouthpiece and that sort of thing, he hasn't really had much backing from the fan base, the WWE universe, as it's said.
He also hasn't had much backing from Vince either. I feel like there's a lot of times where Vince has kind of left him hung out to dry.
Yeah, of course.
And given him stupid promos like the suffering Succotash son one, and brought back memories, right?
Oh,
and
God.
the that thing with Sheamus about calling him a potato or something.
Something like that.
Get it? Because he's Irish. Haha.
For you booing me, take a sip of your beer. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. One sip of beer, that will make me drunk.
Oh, God. So the bottom line was his promos weren't brilliant. And I feel like this just adds another thing to his game. In fact, the article I wanted to bring up was when he talked about his heel turn on TalkSport. It says, this is something I wanted to do. It was an opportunity to be able to connect a lot of the dots. It was a bit of a lure as well to get me back in, because obviously he's been absent from the WWE because of his leukemia, which I guess he'll be immunosensitive with the coronavirus going on. But the good news is he's back and he is in remission, which is great news. It was an opportunity to collect those, a bit of a lure to get back in. But for me, I didn't want to just show up and walk different and talk different. I wanted a whole new presentation. And we're going to continue to gradually do that. I thought, what better way than to align myself with essentially a high-powered attorney? If you take the top athlete in the world and mix him with the head mafia boss character, that's who I am. The mob boss will go out there and do the hit himself, but you have to have somebody dotting the I's, crossing the T's. For you who understands the ins and outs and can add that new layer to the whole character and the personality. So he was up for doing it, which I was good on him, I say. There's not many people that are at the top and you're Vince's boy and you're a perpetual babyface and you're going to sell merch like crazy. To want to do something different like that is a testament, to, I guess, the man that he is.
Yeah, in
real life.
I'm also the kind of person that prefers to buy heel shirts anyway, rather than babyface shirts or tweener shirts.
Absolutely. He returned at SummerSlam, attacked Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman after their main event for the Universal Championship. On the following SmackDown, he aligned himself with Paul Heyman, turning heel for the first time since 2014. 6 years of a bad Roman babyface.
And Cena,
it's been a long time coming,
Yeah.
And so at Payback, he won a triple threat match over Wyatt and Strowman to win the Universal Championship for the second time, cementing his heel turn after attacking his cousin Jey Uso on the September 25th episode of SmackDown. And his first championship defense at Clash of Champions, he retained the title against Jey Uso after Jimmy Uso threw in the towel. So there you go, full-fledged Roman heel turn. It's something that's a long time coming, something that in my previous life during my short-lived Really Reviews YouTube channel where I was reviewing wrestling, I was giving out about on a weekly basis. I don't know, but I guess before his unfortunate baby face run, I kind of had a soft spot for him, and I'm just glad that he's back in the ring doing stuff. But I haven't watched the product in ages, you know.
Yeah, I get
in fairness, because the booking has just been horrendous, you know. I haven't watched it since like Jinder Mahal won the world title
with his weirdly separated pecs.
Yes. Oh God.
Oh no, it's like an angle, isn't it? It's like.
Yeah, that was the thing that turned me off the product, and you know the fact that they're still booking horribly and with Retribution.
What's
and all that?
You know
that anonymous stable that came in called Retribution.
Oh yeah.
Immediately been buried and booked poorly.
Like,
and it's kind of been a running gag. But I only say this off of things I've heard, you know, like I say, because I haven't watched it. The fact that they brought in Jeff Hardy back and Rey Mysterio, who are two of my childhood heroes, and still couldn't coax me to come back to watching it, just shows you how often WWE dropped the ball.
Well,
you know?
Many other companies recognize their talent and push them to be main event stars. And there you go. There were stars there. But then people know when they come back to WWE, they're not going to be rated as highly. It's like Christian is a prime example of that. He was such a talented guy, but WWE never gave him
never gave him time of day, did they?
No, exactly. I know he won a championship, but he lost it in 3 days, didn't he?
And the fact that Jericho now has moved to AEW kind of does suggest, and he's doing quite well in AEW at the moment. That seems to be the thing that everyone's turning towards now.
Yeah.
Even NXT has gone to crap, I've heard, you know.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't
again, it's
wrestling.
All hearsay for me because I don't watch the product anymore. But just a little interesting tidbit that Roman Reigns has finally turned heel.